we have one of these. I'm beginning to call these Old Faithfuls. Because they are nice TVs. Still smart. And they still look good too. You know. Nothing really wrong with that. But it is a backlight problem as per usual on them. I will show you the model number. This is the LG-42LF580. Hopefully that's come into focus. Probably about 10 years old, or maybe not. Where's the date? No, okay. Not 10 years old yet. But it's 7 and 2 months. Or maybe 3 months now. Anyway. It's the usual story on this. New set of backlights going in, and on this particular model, all the LBs and the LFs, you have to strip them down to nothing. So you have to take the power board out, and the T-con out, and the main board out, and all the clips out, and then put the new set in. But first, I'm going to start with taking the legs off. Of course, we haven't tested it yet, have we? It's okay assuming it's a backlight fault, because every one of these is always a backlight fault, but really could do with getting a mains lead and having a look. Switch on the TV. We get a red light. I can, on this model, press the button. Yes. And I don't know if you saw that, there was a flicker of the LG logo. So it does mean I have to get another box of these out. Oh no, they're not the ones. Okay. So that means I have to go looking for the correct box. Got to be here somewhere. In the meantime, let's just prepare. There's only one camera working at the moment. I don't know if I can add the other camera up. Yes, I can. Okay. Put it up there. These cameras may not be in perfect sync as they used to be, because one is the 4K camera, the Instalink, and the other is just a HD camera. And I've got a funny feeling that a 4K one's always going to be a little bit behind, maybe. Maybe. Anyway, let's just tilt this one down so we can see. So all this has to come off. And just for your delectation, for those people that really need to know what screen is in this, it is the LC420 MGA3. So not an FGA3. But when it comes to the backlights, they are all taking the same. So doesn't really matter. So yes, everything has to come off. Bearing in mind I've just plugged it in, so the main filter cap there will be still with a high voltage. Speaker's got to come off, and this bracket has got to come off. So if you just hang on there, I'll do that, and then we'll strip down to the backlights. And yes, you'll even have to take the protective plastic sheet off. The reason we have to take everything off is quite simply that the clips have to come out on these if you're taking the backlights out. So you have to get to the clips, which means taking the boards and everything off. We've done this a million times, but obviously we've had a new influx of subscribers over the last few months. So I thought it was worth doing this one again. Need a smaller screwdriver, man. Just to get these up. And then we have to take the screws from around the side. I'm sure you remember. T-con off. I've already unplugged the LVDS cables from the T-con. That's just about everything. We can leave the speaker leads there, and that can stay there. And now we've just got to go to the screws around the side. The only difference with the screws on the screen is the ones at the front are much longer. Don't get them mixed up. They're twice as long. That's how long they are, twice as long. This can always be a tricky bit if the TV's never been opened before. Just pry these up with a screwdriver because it's one whole piece. There we go. Easy to get the screen out on these. Just pulling out the tabs for now. And hopefully, if I've remembered, and I possibly have, to take all the screws out. I put the screws in two different sections on these. So the screws for the back I would always put over here. So I had them in a pot just here, and then the screws for the screen with the T-con and everything I've just put over here because I've got plenty of space over here. I always let this bit overhang a little bit on the sides here so it doesn't get caught. And then if you've remembered to take all the screws out, and there's always one that you've forgotten, or in my case probably 6. Oh, it just looks like one, just where you are. Is that what I've forgotten? Yes. Yes, I have. Bear with me. Right. Now it comes off. And then, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, because the screens in these are quite sunken, if that is a word. Well, it is now, so let me just show you. So sometimes you have to try and get your fingernails in and lift the screen out. But what I do, if you just push it down, look, the screen actually comes up. So obviously I've got a tripod in my hand at the moment, but that's how I start, just to lift the screen up. And I can get under it, gently start to lift. Okay. This is where it starts to get unfocused. Just these clips around the side here. Again, fingernails will do. Make sure you have clean hands. You will be handling the diffusers. Take all the diffusers out together. I get so many people messaging me saying, oh, what order do they go back? Well, if you take them all out together and put them back together, it's fine. But if you do get stuck, the main thing to remember is the thick plastic one. The thickest of the lot is always the bottom diffuser. You do want to get dirt on this, because if you get dirt on this, if you get dirt on the diffusers, it's very hard to remove, and it will show through on the screen, which kind of dilutes the hard work that you've just done. Just lift that from this corner, hopefully. I'm struggling a bit, there's always a bit in the corner. There we go. Lift that up, and as I say, lift all these up together, and as long as you've got clean hands, you'll be fine. And here they are. Now normally these are the ones that just fall off. They just become loose and bleh. Bleh, whatever bleh means. Shall we test and see which ones have gone? I think so. Let's get the backlight tester. Let's go through them. I've got a funny feeling there's going to be quite a few not working on here. So turn the lights off. I'm just going to move up here a bit, so hopefully I can move the camera too. Well, a little bit. Lights off. Plus is on top, minus on the bottom, and we can see, and maybe if I go up a little bit, still getting used to the camera. There's one gun there, so one gun on the bottom set. I mean, that could be the only one gun, but that set seems to be okay. And that set seems to be okay. And one gun on the top, which you, oh, two gun on the top. Okay. Now, of course, there is an argument saying you can just short them out and the TV will come back to life, and you can do it. It'll keep you going for a bit. But this is a customer's job, so we are putting a brand new set in, of which I thought I'd fetched down from my lead shed. So I've got to go looking for it. The clips that need to come out are here. The best way to get them out is get two of your smallest screwdriver type appliances and push them in the corner. Just push them in a couple of times, and then with your fingers, if it's not come through, there we go. They are a bit fiddly, and they have been a bit fiddly for many a years. I've got another one further up that I need to do, which is just there. That one was a bit easier, and then I've got another one just down here. That's my last one. Don't worry if you snap a couple of them. There's plenty of them, and they do glue back together if you want to glue back together. And then the final bit which has to come out, I'll just show you, are the individual clips, of which there are many. And no matter how many you find, I'll just show you the last one that I've left in. No matter how many you find, there's always one hiding. And these are them, and you just squeeze and in it goes. Ah, no, didn't I say there's always one hiding? I've left one standing, but anyway, I've left one there. And then you lift up and everything has fallen out there. Oh, and there's even one more little one. You didn't tell me about that one, did you? Just scoot all those along the side, and then of course that is free to come out. It's a lot of clips to take out, you know, just to do it, as I'm sure you've seen me do before. But as I said, if you haven't, Next bit is just to pinch these. And again, now I've got the capability of zooming in. And you just pinch. These are the easy ones. You don't have to use a screwdriver on these. You just pinch and pull. And they come out. For those that have never even seen any of these in operation before or swapped any, they are split in the middle. So there are, I mean, these are the replacement ones. So I'll just show you. You can see. So when you get them out of the box and you think there's only 4, they are connected in the middle. And when you start to take these off, when you start to pull these out, these lenses, as that one has just done, they will just ping off. Nothing keeps them on. I'm surprised they're all on. Normally the biggest fault with these kind of backlights is they've come off anyway. So I'm leaving the white tape down, even though there is some double-sided tape on the new ones. That's it. So you take them out. That was a faulty set. I mean, I'm going to stick them in the. I've got a box for them. They may keep another TV going that just wants one strip for a couple of months. But I bet you I end up throwing them within a couple of months. But in an emergency, they could come in handy. Anyway. Ding. I will continue to destroy these. Then we're ready for the new ones. Have to get an A and a B. There's an A and a B. Just take off a double-sided tape. There's usually some markings on here marked A and B, so you can't get confused, but I can't see them on this one. But it's quite easy to note that B is the connection side. So that's where the plug goes in, so you know that that's going to go there, and we've got the grooves. So we know that A goes over there. And the other way to, another thing to check, to make sure you get it precisely, there's a little circular hole there which goes in, and just let me swing the camera over, it goes in there. So you can see a little groovy bit there. Groovy baby. Once you get that in place, you know that you're spot on. So then you know that the reflector sheet is just going to come down and fit in beautifully. Again, for those people that have been with me for years, you'll know this. But for the new people, that doesn't sound right. You now know. Anyway, the bottom set is now in and looking quite good, as good as they possibly can be. Now we'll just do the rest. Incidentally, one thing I probably don't say often enough if you're doing backlight repairs is always be careful when you lift up the screen, the metal part of the screen, because certain manufacturers, these are okay, but Panasonic in particular, have a lot of sharp edges. I mean, these have got sharp edges, but Panasonic are lethal. Anyway, all of them in, as you can see. Now, we don't put it back together in exactly the same order we dismantled it. The reason for that is we need to test these. It's no good putting the screen back in now and everything and then plugging them in and realizing something's amiss somewhere, like you probably haven't stuck one of those in correctly or a join in the center. So of course then what you have to do is reassemble the power supply and the main board, which is something that I've already done, as you can see. So that's back in, I've plugged that back in. I'm just going to plug it into the mains and just test that they all come on. I mean, 99% of the time they do. There was only one occasion, and it was on an LG, not this particular model, with a brand new set. One of the backlights was blue. The coating hadn't been put on it correctly, but so you have to check, because the one, as I say, what you don't want to do is have to go down the road of dismantling it all over again. And hopefully if we left it in the on state, we switch it on and eventually the backlights will come on. And they do. Oh, we're getting flickery patterns, but that may disappear. Then again, it may not. So I'll switch that off. You're getting flickery patterns, I'm not. I'm getting perfect backlights here, so I'll switch that off because you don't want to see that. Now we can start to put everything back the way we want to. Starting off with the little clips and then the big clips. But I'm not going to bore you with this. It's gone down in all four corners, as you'd probably expect it to. Now it's safe to turn it over. And do all the reassembly here. remaining screws going in. At this stage you should have 2 silver screws left over, which normally sends you into a blind panic. But of course you haven't put the IR switching sensor back in yet, or the speakers. And that's what your final 2 screws are for. Of course you've got all the screws around the screen yet, but these are the silver screws. Might as well plug everything in while you're here. Speakers. There's a little groove for the speakers, don't know if you can see, look, little ridge there, which that goes under. Just to guide you in place. Everything else goes in. I'm missing a speaker wire. Oh, how I've missed you. Just going to put the final screws in around the screen. Bearing in mind, as I stated earlier, the longer ones, if you can see. You possibly can't. Is that going to focus in on that? I'd be very impressed if it did. Has it? I think it has. The longer ones go at the bottom. And of course I've made a mistake because I've covered up 2 screw holes by putting the IR switch sensor in now. Or covered up 1 hole, the centre one. There's one that doesn't want to go in. Switch some lights off, plug it in, see if we get a proper LG logo this time. Ooh, well, we don't. Okay, we don't get a logo. Did I plug the screen back in? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't do it as well as I wanted to. Ooh, misses. Oh no, I didn't, did I? Look at that. Can you see that? Not in very well, is it? That's a bit better. Right. Now switch some lights off. Now take two. There's a nice LG logo. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Very nice. Backlight staying on. So I'll just put the final screws in and I will put the legs back on and give the screen the clean, and that TV will be as good as new-ish. Must admit it's a very nice looking television. Well, you can only see the feet at the moment, or the legs. Is it on standby? I don't know. Just going to switch it on. Again, you can't see very much because I've got the customer's remote here. So I'm just checking all is fine. Whenever I do a new backlight repair, I always give a new remote as a bit of a thank you. But yes, that all seems to be as good as it possibly can, I suppose. No other test is necessary. I'm not going to reset it, quite simply because it will have the customer settings on it. Sometimes I'm tempted to do a complete factory reset, but then of course they've got to set up their own smart accounts again, tune it in, which is not terribly fair. But anyway, that's back up and running. We'll do another one soon. Thanks for watching.